June 6, 1944. Dawn breaks over Normandy as thousands of Allied landing craft approach Hitler's Atlantic Wall. Machine gun fire rips through soldiers as artillery shells turn men and machinery alike into mist. It's the largest amphibious invasion in human history, and by noon the beaches will be stained red. But let's change one thing. Hovering just off Omaha Beach is something no one understands. A sleek, angular shape cutting through the morning mist. An AH-64 Apache Guardian from 2017, dropped into a battle it wasn't built for. So what happens when the most advanced attack helicopter on Earth is unleashed during one of history's bloodiest invasions? Can it crack Hitler's Atlantic Wall? Or is it just one gunship against thousands of defenders? First, let's talk about what we just unleashed on the unsuspecting 1944. The Apache Guardian isn't your typical helicopter. It's a 17,000-pound flying arsenal that looks like it was designed by someone who couldn't pick which weaponry they liked most. It moves at 190 miles per hour. That's 3 times faster than any plane the Germans have seen over Normandy. It carries 16 AGM-114 Hellfire missiles that can turn a concrete bunker into rubble from 5 miles away, and 4 pods of Hydra 70 rockets that give it 76 unguided missiles for anything that needs to stop existing immediately. And if that's not enough, there's a 30mm chain gun in the nose that fires over 625 rounds per minute with computer-assisted targeting so precise it can hit a dinner plate from 2 miles away. But we're not done. The Apache has thermal imaging that lets us see through smoke, darkness, and that thick morning fog that's currently protecting German positions. Its radar can track hundreds of targets simultaneously, while its armored cockpit protects the crew inside. Speaking of which, the Hulk helicopter is basically a flying tank. All vital components are wrapped in armor that's designed to tank 50 caliber rounds. The Germans defending Normandy aren't exactly pushovers, however. Field Marshal Rommel has spent months turning this coastline into the Atlantic Wall, the most fortified stretch of beach in human history. We're talking 12 massive concrete strong points at Omaha alone, each housing 88mm guns that can punch through ship armor at 20 miles. Thousands of machine gun nests with interlocking fields of fire, 6 million mines, and beach obstacles designed to rip open landing craft like tin cans. The Wehrmacht's 352nd Infantry Division mans these defenses, battle-hardened veterans dug into positions on 100-foot cliffs. They've got mortars pre-sighted on every inch of beach, artillery batteries hidden inland, snipers in church towers. These guys have turned 5 beaches into what military planners call a death ground, a place where the only expected outcome is complete annihilation. At 0600 hours, the Apache pilot gets the call. Below, the first wave of landing craft is 30 minutes from the beach, packed with soldiers who historically are about to face the worst day of their lives. The Apache rises from behind the Allied fleet and accelerates toward Omaha Beach, skimming 50 feet above the waves. German lookouts spot what looks like a strange dragonfly approaching fast. Way too fast. The helicopter's targeting computer identifies the first strong point, a massive concrete casemate housing an 88mm gun. The gunner locks on from 3 miles out and launches a Hellfire, a missile that streaks across the morning sky at 995 miles per hour. Inside the bunker, German artillery crews are preparing to fire their first salvo when 20 pounds of shaped explosive turns their position into a furnace. The bunker isn't just damaged, it crumbles in smoke and flames. 2 more Hellfires lance out, deleting machine gun nests WN-62 and WN-61, positions that historically killed hundreds of Americans. Panicked radio reports flood German command. The Apache pilot switches to rockets. Hovering just offshore, the gunner ripple fires an entire pod of Hydra 70s into the cliff face. 19 rockets turn a quarter mile of German trenches into a moonscape. Soldiers who survived months on the Eastern Front are vaporized by weapons that haven't even been invented yet. German anti-aircraft crews scramble to respond. A 20mm Flak-Verling quad gun swivels toward the Apache and opens fire. The helicopter's threat detection system chirps a warning, and the pilot simply sidesteps behind a smokescreen. 2 seconds later, a Hellfire is already on its way and the flak position disintegrates. Now the Apache moves in for close work. The pilot brings the helicopter to 500 feet, and the gunner switches to the chain gun. Through his helmet display, he can literally look at a target and the gun will follow his eyes. German machine gunners in their bunkers are drowned in 30mm explosive rounds and reduced to mist. These German soldiers have fought the British, Americans, and Soviets. They've seen Stukas and Shermans and everything in between, but this helicopter was not in the manual. Soldiers begin abandoning positions. Some run inland, others huddle deeper in their bunkers, praying the flying demon doesn't notice them. Radio operators scream about American Arrow Wunderwaffe, while officers try to make sense of reports that sound like science fiction. The Apache crew is methodical, systematic. While German forces are surviving a nightmarish hellscape, it feels more like they're playing a video game. Every Hellfire finds its mark. Every rocket barrage deletes another defensive position. The chain gun never stops chattering, walking fire along communication trenches. By 0630, right when the first landing craft should be hitting the beach under murderous fire, Omaha's defenses look more like Swiss cheese. The strong points that should be laying down interlocking fields of death are smoking craters. The beach obstacles are still there, but there's nobody left to shoot at the engineers coming to clear them. But even this death machine has limits. The Apache has been flying for an hour, burning through fuel at combat power. The ammunition countdown shows 4 Hellfires left, 1 rocket pod remaining, and 400 rounds of 30mm. The fuel gauge shows 45 minutes of flight time. That's if he's lucky. That's when the crew spots the German reinforcements, a column of trucks racing toward Omaha from the 352nd's reserve positions. In the real timeline, these troops would have helped to contain the beachhead for hours. The Apache pilot sends off his last rocket pod in one long ripple fire. The convoy lined up in a row that makes them easy target practice becomes a 500-meter stretch of burning vehicles and scattered bodies. The chain gun mops up survivors trying to flee into the hedgerows. With ammunition running low, the Apache makes one final pass over Omaha Beach. The crew can see Allied landing craft approaching unopposed beaches where thousands should have died. The Atlantic Wall, Hitler's impregnable fortress that took years to build, has been cracked open in less than 90 minutes. As the fuel warning light illuminates, the pilot realizes there's not enough gas to make it back to England. He'll have to land on the beach, but there's no way to refuel a turbine helicopter in 1944. The JP-8 jet fuel it needs won't exist for decades. This will be its final resting place. For a while, the Apache hovers, its chain gun spitting death at any German who dares show himself. When the ammunition counter hits 0 and the engine begins to sputter, the pilot sets the helicopter down on Omaha Beach, among stunned American troops who've just walked unopposed onto a beach that should have been their graveyard. Without the bloodbath at Omaha, American forces are hours ahead of schedule. Thousands of soldiers who should be dead are pushing inland, while German commanders are still sending panicked reports about American superweapons. The psychological impact ripples through Hitler's forces. Rumors spread of an entire squadron of American flying tanks. So could one Apache win D-Day? Yes, but not entirely. It would save thousands of Allied lives and plant a seed of terror in German minds. But D-Day happened across 5 beaches, not 1. Even an Apache can only dominate one sector, so soldiers would still have a battle ahead of them everywhere the Apache couldn't be. Or what do you think would happen? And if you're curious what would happen if a modern tank fought in World War II, check out the video on screen now. Thanks for watching.